What we're going to do now, we're just going to look at some core stabilisation exercises. Now, I'm going to be training them on the ball. The ball's good for training. Basically, the ball serves a purpose, but it's only a training method. It's not very functional in a way, because when you look at it, if we're walking on the ground, this here's the surface we're walking around on. This is what we really need to be stable on and train on. But the ball can be a good way for us to progress further on in our core exercise and just challenge ourselves more and more. So it is a good training method, but it's not everything about core training, if you know what I mean. It's not everything about functional training. You get people doing loads of things on it, which is good, but it's only a training method. It's not functional for everyday life. Functional for everyday life is training for your specific function in life. Okay, so right, so first thing we're going to do is just going to sit on the ball first. Some of these things are unsafe, so you're going to need a training partner with them at first, or a matted area and a training partner. And obviously you only progress to the next level once you've got the first level and now properly, so it's safe and moving on. So I can make it as quick as possible. So first thing I'm going to do is just sit on the ball. So by sitting on the ball, now I'm already slightly more unstable than I am as if I was just sitting in a chair. So my TVA's got to activate slightly more, okay? So one of the things we do, we keep our head tilt up, we keep our shoulders slightly back, and our shoulder blades just slightly pulled round and back in, just slightly squeezed together, but not tensed as in squeezed together, just slightly pulled back with good posture, and a core in here. So this is already challenging a little bit more. Next progression on, we just lift one foot. Straight away, because we lifted one foot, we're already slightly more challenged than we was in the previous one, okay? So things got to work slightly harder, including our nervous system. Everything has to work harder to keep you balanced. From then on, we have a ball. Put one foot on the ball, and then we lift one leg. Okay, so straight away, just by doing this has already challenged me a lot more than when my foot was on the ground. This actually seems like a really easy exercise. When you try it, it's actually quite difficult to just stay balanced on the ball. So from there, so then we come off the ground onto the ball. This is when it gets a little bit more dangerous. So this is when you need, obviously, a training partner. First thing we do, we just come onto the ball on all fours. So we're here, okay? But as you can see, my back is nice and straight, okay? I'm not arched, I'm not up like this. Shoulder blades are together, back's nice and straight. Good posture, even on the ball here, on all fours. So this starts to just challenge us a little bit more. From then on, we're on the ball, we come on, we can take one leg off the ball, we can take one arm off the ball while still on all fours, but I'm not going to go to them because it just goes too long. I'm just going to go to the next level. But the next level to this would be on the ball, obviously taking a leg off, or taking an arm off, taking an arm and a leg off. So from there, we go into all fours. This is when it starts to get a little bit even more dangerous now, so you need a matted area and a training partner if it's the first time you tried it. Okay, so we're here now. So with this one here, what I'm not doing, I've actually got a straight line all the way through my body. What I'm not doing is sitting here. I'm not letting my hip flexors kick in and try and stabilise me. I'm not sitting down on the ball. I'm actually up where my glutes are working, my core's working, my TVA's drawn in, my shoulder blades are together, and I'm up right here. Okay, so from there, we start to challenge ourselves a little bit more. What we then start to do, we come up with one knee and one leg. So now this hip here, this glute is actually working hard. If you just hold this posture here for a minute, you'll feel this glute really switching on, really working. But even here, I'm not sitting down like this on the ball. I'm not crunching my hips. I'm up in a straight line here. This hip's working, this one can come in, it can go out, it can go wherever you like. You can actually move it around to work more. There's loads of progressions even from here, but just trying to keep it quick and move on to the next one. And then you can use your imagination for each progression, each position, each posture on the ball. You can use your imagination to start to make it harder. So from there, so we've gone onto our knees, then we've gone onto one knee on, one foot, and then we go into standing. So obviously every level it gets harder and harder. This is where you definitely do need matted area and you do need a training partner if you've not done it before, because it can obviously hurt. I've actually seen people fall off and hurt themselves quite bad doing this. You see, we then go into standing. So as you're standing, you get a lot of co-contraction. Everything's gripping down on the ball, all your stabilising muscles are kicking in, your core's kicking in big time. Everything's working really hard. When you're kneeling, it works hard. When you're on one leg, it works. When you're kneeling on one knee, it works harder. When you're standing on it, everything works very hard because you've got co-contraction that's dangerous, okay? Here. So here, my legs are gripping the ball, and then start to challenge ourselves as we start to squat, go through movements. Things get harder and harder. So even that just gripping the ball takes your breath away quite a lot. And it's harder than it looks, but doing 10 squats on that standing on the ball feels like doing 100 or 200 squats on the floor. It's really challenging. I made it really quick. I was just on the ball a few seconds on each, but obviously you'd build up to a couple of minutes in each position. Maybe put rotation into it, things like that, but the most important thing is to just build it up level by level. Okay, cheers.